Hello, YouTube. Annyeonghaseyo and konnichiwa and hello in every other different language that I cannot pronounce. This is the iZombie Aftershow coming at you, part 2, because I already did this recording, but I tried to do it through YouTube and YouTube straight up denied me. So I had to do it again, had to download the program. Let's see if this works right. If not, I will redo it, but if so, I'm gonna leave this in here anyway. So let's get into it, into the straight to the meat. The big thing this episode was Marcy, and wow, we did not see Marcy getting killed by Liv. Nobody saw that coming. Like, I didn't predict it. I know a lot of people that was live tweeting didn't predict it. Like, we just thought it was. They did a really clever job with this, like without revealing that it was Marcy, or not, without like making any someone's coming back or you will see her, any type of weirdness in any of the previews. Like, you did not see this coming. Like, I predicted that they would bring Marcy back later on in the season, like in episode 5 or 6, as in her own faction of zombies, or doing her own thing, just randomly killing, but kind of like Liv, kind of lost, but is like, hey, I'm seeing, something that would have brought her back to have a more prominent role. But that's not to say that her role in this wasn't as impactful. Like, it was powerful. Like, seeing it said a lot, because just seeing her, and then with their dialogue in the first episode, they were like, she was like, oh, I thought she hated me, she invited me out there, we're gonna be friends, like she's about to start a relationship, like another female relationship outside of her main thing, because she always thought this girl hated her because she was so great at her job, and she felt envious. But it was like, it was that, about to have me a good strong sister bond. People already started shipping them and everything in the community. All that was already happening, but shut that down. And the biggest way you can shut a ship down is by having the ship kill off the other member of the ship. Like, that's like having, you hook, I don't know, name any two things to where one person kills somebody else. Like Lilo eating Stitch, it's something crazy. And nobody saw it coming. And the way that she killed them, it was like, I think it was a definite nod to Dying Light as well. Killing it, finding a random pipe and killing her with the pipe, and then the pipe disappears. Like, you don't see the pipe. So it was like, she didn't have a workbench around, so she beat it with it, and it broke. That's what happens in Dying Light. Once you use the weapon up too much, it's done for. You can't use it again. You don't even see it no more. So that was really good. I like how they showed it, and they showed her, like, I don't know, it had to play something with the brain the exterminator's brain, or what, because she kind of lingered. She lingered in the zombie mode. She lingered in rage zombie mode. She was like, Riv had actually called, talk her back into a human state, you could say. She, called her out, telling her to calm down, because she was gone. And like, when she looked at it, she was about to go full zombie on Riv, and that would have been crazy. A whole nother pot to open up. But that's what happened, and it's so ironic. I know I started like halfway, not talking about the beginning, but I'm gonna jump here and there. But it was really great to see, the irony that he was like, no, we can study her. Pretty much what he wanted to do is leave her in there, bring her brains, and see if she would not regenerate, but turn back into a human like she did. And where I would have thought, him being super smart would be like, all the tests that he's been running on Liv, there has not been any type of regenerative ability stated that they can regenerate. So what makes him think that, seeing how far gone she was, how she would have been able to regenerate from where the state she was in, because she was totally already full zombied out, teeth horrible, everything, just wounds, deep gashes, are just totally, eating chips, but totally messed up. She was totally gone. So I don't know how he would have thought she would have came back anyway from that point. But nevertheless, maybe his scientific mind got the better of him, and he just wanted to try so hard, and his humanity, because he was like pleading to her. She was like, no, she's already gone. Let me find a rock. I'm gonna kill her. And he was like, no, that's the exterminator talking in you. You don't want to do that. She's human. She was just like you. She is like you. She's you. You know, he was pleading with her humanity, and he was trying to find the hope. He had hope. You know, maybe he wanted that hope because, in a sense, it like also being like a doctor, he wanted to experiment, but that would have been like, if it would have been another step, being able that they can bring them back into being full humans. But it was really good seeing like them not fight but bicker back and forth, because they've been so buddy up until now, to where this is the first time they had like a argument or a disagreement about something, because she was so cold. She was so cold and so methodical about like, kill her, because she's dead already. And then he was like, no. But and it was in the irony of it, because he was like, what if a kid would have got scratched? What if those kids would have got scratched? What if somebody falls down in here? You just can't leave her like this, and we sure as hell not going to try to bring her up. And lo and behold, he falls over into it. Bam, perfect thing. And then she just sat there and watched and stared and like was like, let's see how this plays out. Let's see how manly man are you, Riz. Let's see how much of a man are you. And I love that they did that. And it just showed, because they are showing Rose. I couldn't think of her real name, how to pronounce her last name, but Rose. They were showing how great of an actress she actually is, because she was able to her diversity and all her characters has been so different, and she's done them all so well. Like, shout out to you, Rose. Like, if you ever see this, shout out to you for being an amazing actress. I really haven't been following you in your career up until now. Like, this caught my attention, and you are a great actress. I give you that. That was really great what you did. But I like how they're showing her range and what she does, and then the fact that the characters on the show are actually seeing her personality difference. And I wonder if they're gonna catch up on it, or they're gonna ask her about it. Is this still some type of post-traumatic thing from the accident, even though it was 5 months ago? Like, what is this? Because I'm sure she has been having frequent personality switches, but not as this intense, because most of the people that kill people, they have strong, like I said, they have strong iterations or of them dying or something like so. I'm guessing because his murder is such a strong emotion, anger and stuff like that, it takes control over more. Or I don't know. That's just me thinking. But no, not to get off subject. But it was really great seeing how each character could tell that she was acting different, from Riv to Clive to her roommate. Everybody, you're so cold. Her roommate was like, "You're so cold." Like, isn't this the time where we talk about where he saw Major? Saw Major kissing some new chick, because it wasn't the same chick that was playing Dying Light. Because I think the Dying Light chick wore glasses and she did it. I don't know, but he was kissing on the chick, and she was just like, huh, what else? Useless fact here. And her friend, her roommate, was like, let's talk about girl stuff. Let's talk about how bad she looks or how bad the room is. I can't think of the exact statement she said, but let's talk about this. And she was like, what else? I'm cool, because the personality, the exterminator, was so cold. So all those emotions, what they said, not antisocial. It was like antisocial and a sociopath, like I don't know, some type of weird thing, which I'm guessing is a real thing, but I'm no doctor. Anywho, so after that, it was really good seeing her come back into play. Where this is where we're jumping at the end, seeing how she decided to not even eat this brain anymore. And I like how they're doing this, because in the first episode you only see her eat the brain for the case, and that was it. Second episode you saw her eat the brain after the case, because she still wanted to see this beautiful world. And then this case we see her just opt out of eating the rest of the brain at the end, just destroyed it, because she didn't want to be so cold and shut off from the world. Like these past 2 episodes, one was super passionate and the other one was super cold. And I like how they showed the range of that being different. And so then afterwards, after that whole thing settled in, and she, was crying and was watching the video, and her friend consoled her, and she was just sitting there and realizing what happened. Even though she knew what was happening, we obviously could tell that she was fully brain functional about what was going on. She just decided not to even worry about it. It's weird. I don't know how they work. But then we had, another show, Piggy and the Brain. I was live tweeting with a few other guys after shows and a few other like Zombie Writer Room and stuff like that. I totally thought they said Piggy and the Brain at first. I know they said Picky because it makes pig, cop, totally play on words, and bravo to that dialogue. Bravo, y'all did a great job. But I thought they said Picky and the Brain, and I was my mind reaching for straws. I'm like, they just went back to straight up WB, what it used to be, the show CW, what it used to be way back in the day, and grab Acme, thank you. Then that makes sense. Thank you, Pinky and the Brain. I enjoy that show. I was a kid once. I loved that show. It was funny. But nevertheless, Pinky and the Brain, she knows all those stupid facts, 100% correct. And I guess that's another side effect of that disorder, is that you want to know knowledge, because she just knew a lot of useless, weird facts. But that was nice. I love the banter between. Again, it's like seeing Clive or Malcolm with different actresses, each time, because they're so different. Like the first time she comes in, she straight up, busts his man out on his manhood at work. And I would have loved it if there would have been other cops or detectives around, because it would have been more prominent to show how cold she was because of that, because of the brain she eaten. I would have loved that, but I was looking at IMDb, and like the head Asian detective guy, I think they said he was only in 2 or 3 episodes. He might be in some more later on down the line if they get picked up for 12 more episodes. But so I don't think we're gonna see that much of the Force until like next week's episode, which that preview, I'll talk about that a little bit later at the very end, actually. So I like how they did that, and how Clive was like, okay, you got some balls, your ovaries are sitting pretty strong or something, because she just came in there, boom, bang, pop, and left. And she said that she's like, I just tested him out on his manhood, I did this and this, and I don't care. I just questioned this guy. Like, it was really great. I love that. I love the banter between them two, as she was, the exterminator, because she was a lot more cold and tactical and right to the point. And it just shows how passionate she is about the job too. Like, it shows that she really loves doing what she do. So that's great all in itself. And like the villain of the week or whatever, I like how cocky he was. I can't think of that actor name, but he did a great job too. He did his job right. The lawyer, he needs a new lawyer. I would have told him let's go in the first place. But I love how cocky he was. He was like, no, I'm gonna sit here. Let's see how this plays out. And then, I like how they did that. And Clive was like, don't leave. Don't you want to see how this plays out? I was like, my boy. No, I love the retort that they had, like that witty comment right back, and like how they was like going on back and forth, bam, 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 and like throwing all these facts at him, and then had good old Riv, doing his day job, being a trash man, wearing that vest, and that was hilarious. They did that. They executed it really well, and like I said, I love how the show is being that, like I said in my first episode, I love how the show is being that cop show that they need, that the CW needs in this line of drama. Even though they're all like, this show has solidified itself in the supernatural realm. Like this, we're gonna have supernatural stuff and a few other randoms. They have a few pyramid pieces. I think they used to have the Tudors on the show, and then they have Rain. But besides those two, everything else is supernatural or sci-fi. Excluding 100, it's more sci-fi than supernatural. but every show, almost every one of their hitter shows, like their shows that's making them money, is sci-fi. I mean, it's is supernatural in a sense. Besides Supernatural, that's like their biggest one. But this is their cop show, that because every main station has a cop show, and this is it. And they are not deterring away from that. They are, if anything, they are showing how strong. They're showing a lot of cop work and detective work. A lot of, you know, you seeing them actually in the police office a lot. You see them doing police things. You know, now knowing that her friend is a detective or a not a detective, defense attorney or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. But seeing that, like, there's a lot of cop elements in the show, so I really enjoy that this is solidifying itself that, hey, yes, we do have zombies. This is great, and we have a different type of zombie than you're used to, America. But this is awesome. But this show is more than zombies and zombie powers. You know, this is a cop show, and I like that they're doing that. So hats off to you, CW. Keep it up. You're doing a good job with that. And then also the whole in the something else about this episode that was really good that I was talking about earlier with some guys. It was the whole, even though that reveal was big about the whole Marcy thing, and then you had the whole Major. Even though he didn't have a lot to say this episode, I found it really weird that his little partner, his little homie, had more lines than him this episode. And when he first brought him in, I was thinking, what is his purpose this episode? Because you're just not going to blatantly bring a guy in, Mountain Dew. You're not going to bring a guy in and just have him say that much and nothing comes of him. But I knew he wasn't a main character from a comic standpoint, and from just he just had that feeling like something is up. And then at the end of the episode, we saw that what his purpose was. He was a disposable character. And I think two things would have happened. It's going to happen. Either, you know, good old badass Billy Blaine, not Billy, but, you know, Blaine, being a badass as he is, has that Spike feel. Like, God, does he not? Every time I see him on the stage, I think it's Spike. Like, I think it's Spike. He looks exact. It's a Spike. It's literally zombie Spike. Not vampire, it's zombie Spike. But I love how... like it's the two things I think is gonna happen is he took him off to either kill him and eat his brain. I can't think of the actor's name or the character's name, but the black kid. He's gonna eat his brain, because we all know good and well that he never seen his friend. We all know that he was out there pandering drugs, and I'll talk about that as right before I talk about the preview of the next episode. But we see that, and then or number two, he's going to recruit him like he recruited old girl. I don't want people to forget about her. Even though I can't think of her name, but she's still out there being, you know, a zombie and getting her brains from somewhere. Well, he said that he was going to supply her with brains, so that's why he's needing more brains. So I think he might be, you know, using this drug to build a zombie army up, or some sort, or, you know, start some type, so he can fight. I think first, so he can fight off and clear his debt or whatever with the mob bosses, or so he can take over the city. One of those two. It's one of those two things that's happening. Either way, it's not going to be good for the characters, but it's going to be a great story arc. Great story arc, because everybody is amazing. Like, all the actors are doing their job right, and they're portraying their characters really well. And then then they brought up the Utopian again, which I said in one of my after shows, that this is going to be the main story arc. Like, this is going to be the one thing that's connecting all this is going to be the Utopian drug. Discussing with some other people on Twitter, how this is going to be that thing. Is you seeing it prominent. They're going to talk about it, I believe, every episode. Somehow it's going to weave its way. You're going to see a utopian sign, you're going to see a utopian drug, you're going to see somebody on the drug, you're going to see something to do with this drug. So it stays on people's mind, but it's going to be a little bit, it's going to feature a little bit of, like, little bitty gerbil drops, like the little water, so you can see just a little bit, you know, get a little taste and remember it, keep it on your mind. And I don't know if he's selling a newer a newer drug, or because we saw in the second episode that they said that that first batch was a bad batch. Obviously they turned into zombies, but does he have more of that first bad batch, or is this a new batch? Like, he's selling this drug or giving it away. Something is going on. Wait to see that unfold. I cannot wait. This was a really great episode. Everybody did an amazing job. Like, hats off to everybody. Even though they killed one ship, people were doing the the Liv and Marcy ship, Larcy. But the ship's gone. Liv literally killed her co-captain. she is done for. So that ship is totally gone and out the water. And then so you gotta so I'm figuring this show is going in a strong direction. I'm really loving it. If you follow me on Twitter at iZombie I'm going to post later on tonight. I'm going to post some reviews and critic reviews and the numbers, the geographic stuff like that, because it went up. So far, every episode has been going up, even though it's only been 3 technically now. There was it's been slowly going up, so this is great for the show. I'm loving it. It's going in a great direction. I'm thinking if it either stays at the number it was last week's, or if it goes higher, or if it moderates in this thing, it doesn't go lower than what it first viewed or debuted, I think we will get a full season. And I think with that, they said, I read somewhere that it was in talks with the season 2. Don't confirm it, but it's not a double confirm, but I think I've read somewhere, I was reading up, doing some research about it, and I think they said they probably gonna definitely at least confirm for a full season, a full season 1, not just 12 episodes, but also a season 2, because it's doing so well right off the bat. Anyway, about that next episode, just a little bit, we saw that it looks like he was, he might be a dirty cop. I want to, stifle, is that a real word? I want to hold back your fears about that. I definitely don't think he's a dirty cop. I read the IMDb, and he's in there for all 12 episodes, of course. So, like, I'm calling it now. I'm going to say that he was being a undercover cop, because we obviously saw him with the mustache, and we haven't seen Clive. Like, is she like when did Clive grow a mustache within a week? So that was a full mustache. So that's my thoughts. I'm thinking he was not a dirty cop, undercover cop. If it even is a past thing, I think he was an undercover cop doing some work, and something went bad. And even though they're gonna make it presume and look like Clive killed him, I think Clive didn't kill him. I'll say it out there right now. And I think how they made it seem like Clive was like, "What you doing, girl? Like, where you going?" Like, seemed very aggressive towards her in those like second previews. I think because the personality, whoever the personality she eats, obviously seems like a rat or type of skittish. So I'm sure she's very super paranoid and jumpy in this episode, in the next episode. So I'm calling it now. He's not a dirty cop. He was an undercover cop, and the guy brain that she eat is like a rat or something. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, I want to thank you for tuning in to my iZombie Aftershow. I'm just an advocate. I love this show. If you watch my show, feel free to share it on YouTube. Try to spread the word. Share it on your Facebooks. If you love this show as much as I do, and a lot of other people, follow me on Twitter, and I will share your stuff, and I will show you around with the other iZombie people that I know, that I'm following, that we have good, great conversations and bantering ideas back and forth, having a good time with tweeting the actors, because the actors are real, I guess, because they know this is a new show. They are prominent with actually telling people, talking back to the fans, so that's really good. So if you would like to do that, follow me. Be sure to like or dislike my video. I did get it, as people seen. If you watch my first 2, I did finally get. I'm in my new room, my computer room. I still got to set up the background with posters and stuff, but hopefully this sounds a lot better. The video quality is a lot better, hopefully, from what my older videos look like. I'm slowly progressing to getting better stuff, guys, to provide you with premium content. And I just created a Tumblr today, so if you have any art or anything iZombie related, you can find me on there at iZombie as well. And you know, tweet me. Let's have a good conversation. Let's do our job and do our word and spread this around so that everybody else can enjoy what we enjoy. This is D'Angelo. I think it's the first time I've ever said my name on here, but hey, signing off. Y'all have a great day. Ciao.